The following is a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio. From hot dogs to cool kitties, this is Darkside of the Pooch.
Welcome back to the dark side of the Pooch. As you can see, I'm squarely between the steering wheel and my guest, Dr. Rab Stewart. He, of course, owns the Rossbridge Animal Hospital, does fantastic work there, 208-0301, rossbridgevet.org or .com. And we do a show every single week where we ask your questions about cats and dogs. And, of course, we take your emails too, info@tonycurryradio.net, info@tonycurryradio.net. I know you can see me. I know you're looking right down at the speedometer. Where are you heading real quick so people know what the hell you're doing?
My 11-year-old son has a baseball game out in Oak Mountain today at Herdmont. So out, and I'm going to go watch him hit some dingers, hopefully.
All right. You're cutting out a little bit. So are you going to be parking it soon, or are you just driving?
I'm just now starting the journey.
Okay. All right. Well, if it cuts out too much, we'll have to figure something out. In the meantime, we'll take your email questions, info@tonycurryradio.net. You know, we don't talk a lot about cats on this show. We actually got an email here from Becky, and she's like, why don't you guys ever talk about cats? And it's just because I had a cat. It left me. I'm not a big cat guy. I love cats. I just don't ever have one because I've always got dogs, and we don't get a lot of questions about cats. But so I want to donate some of my time today in talking about the kitty cats, and certainly the cats that you watch at the Rossbridge Animal Hospital. How's that? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. But let me comment on this. You know, in veterinary practice, depending on the practice, at most, cats probably take up about 20% of a veterinary. But, I mean, some practices like us, we're only 10% feline. So, you know, we probably devote 10% of the show to cats, don't we?
Yeah, well, that's about right then. Why is that? Is it because I get this feeling that people feel like cats don't need to be taken care of as much as dogs do. First of all, most cats aren't inside as much as dogs are. Cats aren't a man's best friend. They want to get outside. They're quirky, and so we kind of like, yeah, you're fine, you'll be okay. Unless, of course, they get hit by a car or they're really, really sick or something. Then, for the most part, I would bet that a lot of people would probably miss their annual checkups for their kitty cat.
Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, cats are harder to get to the practice.
Yeah.
And also, cats aren't getting hurt all the time like dogs are. Like dogs are, they're kind of clumsy and like doofy, and you know, cats are agile and smart.
Yeah.
But they're also very stoic. They don't show their pain a lot, and I think that's another misnomer. Like, oh, the cat's fine, it's not sick. Well, there's also a misnomer that cats just throw up all the time. Well, no, they don't. So if your cat's throwing up like weekly, that's a problem.
Okay. Big show brought to you by Sasquatch Toys and Comics. Talked to Seth last week. They're doing fantastic. They have that brand new store down there. It's been open almost a year already, or I think it's a little over a year. Down there in beautiful Homewood, Sasquatch Toys and Comics. They do comics, 60s, 70s, 80s, you name it. Of course, toys in the box, everything from Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, Legos, you name it. They got all kinds of great toys down there. Check out Sasquatch Toys and Comics. I have a little bit of an issue with something about ticks. How much do you know about ticks? Because I want to get into that in just a second.
I know about ticks.
Let's get into it right now. I'm out in the yard a couple days ago. I'm in the shower. I took a shower. I get out of the shower. I'm sitting there watching TV. I look down on the inside of my leg, which is kind of a strange spot, and I saw a mole. And I thought, I don't remember having a mole there. And right away, I thought, it's a tick. Because if it's dirt, it would have come off in the shower. And sure shooting it is, and it's a really small tick. And I tried to pinch it off with my fingers, and of course the inside of your leg is like one of those real tender areas, so you don't want to be pinching the inside of your leg really hard. So I took tweezers, and it took me a good couple minutes to pull this thing off, which was really amazing. I mean, it was a booger bear. Now it is really red, and I'm waiting for the circle to go around it because I'm afraid I got Lyme disease. What are the chances? It itches and it's inflamed. I mean, it's like, you know, I would have figured it would have gone away by now, but I'm getting I'm not a bruise, but a big red rash about this big around it.
Yeah, that you could have a target or a bullseye lesion. That's what those are called.
Yeah.
Lyme disease, target or bullseye lesion. And you know, it's possible dogs get Lyme disease. Of course, humans get Lyme disease as well. The Northeast is the Lyme disease hotbed. Probably like the hottest Lyme disease area in the country is like in the Connecticut area. For whatever reason, they just have a
Huh.
lot of it up there. Um, the interesting thing about tick-borne illnesses in dogs is that it's very common to get them in dogs, but it's also very common that the dog gets better on its own. A lot of times they don't need treatment. And the interesting thing is the consensus, for the most part, for dogs that test positive for a tick-borne illness is to not treat them unless they are symptomatic. And the symptoms
Huh.
can range from just general lethargy and having a kind of a low grade fever. They can have lymph node enlargement, and they can also have what's called a shifting leg lameness. So that just means that they may be sore on one leg one day, and the next day it's another leg, and
Huh.
that's because tick-borne illnesses cause joint pain, cause inflammation in the joints.
Now
So
it's my understanding that humans suffer almost the exact type of symptoms, right? They have joint
same
things.
thing.
They have a fever, fatigue. A lot of people say that sometimes it feels like you may have the flu, and
Hmm.
they say that's one of the problems is because it can take almost a month for it to incubate itself in there. And because of that, if I would go in too early, there's a good chance it wouldn't even show up in a blood test yet, right?
That's true. In dogs, tick-borne illnesses can be very tricky to diagnose. Um, just because an owner may not notice a tick. The tick may have fallen off. It may have
Yeah.
died. The dog may have chewed it off and, eaten it or whatever. It fell off and crawled away. So what we do in in our in our world is if a dog comes in and they have a fever and they don't have any sign of why they should have a fever, they don't have any respiratory symptoms, they don't have an abscess, like a big swollen area on their skin that has purulent discharge, then we'll run a test. It's called a fever of unknown origin test.
Hmm.
And in that test, it tests for all of the tick-borne illnesses, as well as some other diseases that can be spread, contagious diseases between animals. So it's a big one for us. If we have a fever of unknown origin, we start looking for tick-borne illness.
That sounds like a good movie title, The Fever of Unknown Origin. That it?
Oh, yeah.
So okay, well, screw the dogs. What about humans? Do I have anything reason to be worried about this? I mean, it's not going away, and I'm just really surprised because it was so small. I mean, I had to have my glasses on and sit down and actually try to, it was a really small tick. Um, should us wait?
Yeah, I think you could probably just wait it out. So we live, you and I live pretty close to each other,
Mhm.
and we are we both have kind of woods around our house. And when I go out behind my house, I have to put bug spray on because I'm going to come back with a tick. I've come back with a lot of ticks on me,
Yep.
and for whatever reason, they really like to get on the back of my knee. It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
Like if I have a tick on me, it's going to be on the back of my knee.
Well,
And they do every time I get one, it really itches. Now I don't get those circular red lesions, but that's ticks have bacteria in their mouth parts. Whether it's gonna, be Lyme disease or gonna cause Rocky Mountain spotted fever or Lichia or whatever. They have bacteria in their mouth parts and they cause a lot of inflammation when they bite. So I would say that if you start feeling anything systemic and not just an itch, if you start feeling sick, you should definitely go to the doctor.
okay. Well, I told you, was it last year, or the year before, when I had one of my right testicle? Remember?
Yeah.
I don't, and I mean, I shower twice a day. I mean, and anyone's ever had a tick, you realize how you can have a tick if it's somewhere where you can't see it. You can have it for 3 or 4 days and not know it because you can barely feel it unless you feel a bump. And I just remember kind of, scratching my nuts like I do. And I thought, man, I got a big bug bite that because we used to have these things called chiggers. Chiggers are these bugs that actually get inside your skin. They're Midwestern, northern type of bug. It's like a mosquito, but it actually crawls inside your skin. And the only way to kill it is to suffocate it. You put like a nail polish on the top of the bite, and then it can't breathe and it dies. And then, of course, you have a bug inside your skin, but it comes out. but I was itching and I thought, man, this bug bite is gotten really bad. And I looked down there and sure shooting, I had a tick. It's kind of disgusting, but I had one on there for 2 or 3 days and I was like, hey, brother, there's not enough blood down there for both of us, dude.
I never find them until they start to itch,
Yeah.
and because they're like the ones that I found on me are tiny, the
Yeah.
exact same as you're describing.
Yeah. I'll let you know what happens, and I'll go another couple weeks to make sure that I don't have any Lyme disease because I don't want to. I don't want to be messing with that.
There's
Um,
a real. I wish I knew more about this. I'll tell you this real quick.
yeah.
Um, I'll look into this and I'll figure out the definitive name of the disease. But ticks can give you this really strange disease where you can no longer eat red meat. It makes you sick,
Really?
and that's a fact. I will have to look it up. It is not. This is not like some made up story. You can't eat red meat anymore without getting sick, and it's a
Oh,
lifelong deal. So I have
that
to I
that
have
is
to look that
horrible.
I have to look that up. Yeah,
That'd be terrible.
yeah.
Well, that'd be horrible. Speaking of meat, and I've done a little research here. I found out that cats love cantaloupe. Are
Turning the
you
volume up here.
sure? Cats love cantaloupe. Are you aware of that?
Um,
Cats love cantaloupe, and according to, and again, I go to all these different sites with veterinarians and stuff, and evidently, cantaloupes have about the same amino acid content as beef does, and so when they smell cantaloupe, they smell meat, and so they think the cantaloupe's kind of meat, and that's why they love cantaloupe. Like if you put a piece of cantaloupe in front of any cat, it'll eat it. True?
I haven't heard that, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna get some cantaloupe in my office, and when we have mean cats, I'm gonna become their best friend. I'm gonna give them some cantaloupe.
They
You try
said
it.
this guy says that he's given 100,000 cats cantaloupe, and every single time he puts a piece of cantaloupe in front of a cat, they go for it.
A
Also,
cat is like a we make a lot of terrible analogies on this show.
I know it's
So I guess
great.
I'm probably about to make another one.
Is it going to have something to do with
Yeah.
Nazis or something? Or
No, 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 no. A cat is like my wife. A cat is like a beautiful woman. And you try so hard to get it to like you. Oh, you
yeah,
try everything. You try everything to get to like you. So if I can make a single cat that comes into my office like me a little better, will make my day.
God, that's a great analogy though. And the thing is, the cats do the cats realize how hard we're trying?
I think they do.
The thing is, though, if you're going to make this analogy with a woman, though, cats don't really care if you just kind of like, I don't give a rip about you. Cats really don't care. Most women,
Yeah.
they like the bad boy, right? Yeah, that's you're going to have my mind swirling on that analogy. I got news for you. Also, cats are crepuscular. Is that right? Crepuscular?
What?
CREP, crep, UCUSCULAR. Crepuscular. They're not.
Scapular. I think you're trying to
Yeah,
say, yeah, yeah, yeah,
scapular, crepuscular. Yeah,
yeah.
they're not
Yeah, they have a, co-
they're not nocturnal. They're crepuscular. Talk about what crepuscular means.
no, I don't, I have no idea. I thought you were talking about, I thought you were talking about their collarbone.
It's crepuscular. Crepuscular.
Crepuscular?
Cre, crepuscular.
We need to
Uh,
move on because whatever this word is, it stumped you and it stumped me.
no, crepuscular. And I found this, so I want to make sure that I got this right. Oh, there's the cantaloupe thing. Um, Crepuscular means that cats, whatever is crepuscular means that it's a dusk and dawn type of animal. Um,
Oh,
in other words, it's not and it's CREPUSCULAR. And it's not necessarily a nocturnal animal, but it likes to get out and do its thing at dusk and dawn, early morning kind of thing, crepuscular. So there you have it. Also, and I thought this was really interesting.
okay. That's interesting. I'll learn something.
Yeah, we talked about this on the show. But you never want to give your cat milk, and I think everyone thinks that cats love milk. Please explain why.
Well, it gives them a lot of GI problems.
Hmm.
So milk gives cats a lot of GI problems, and it's not something that I don't know. I think it came from Disney. I
Yeah.
really think that cats drinking milk came from Disney for whatever. There's some movie in it. That's I truly believe that. But Um, it's not something that they would choose to eat or drink on their own naturally, and it only causes problems. It's not good for them.
Yeah, I read something where they're actually lactose intolerant. They like the way it tastes, but
Exactly.
it doesn't. They do not like. It's not good for their stomach. So if you want to make your cat, it also says that you should never feed your cat raw fish. We always see, and that's another cartoon thing. I was watching a Curious George Noki, which is the kitty cat from the dude that owns the Italian restaurant. He's always giving Noki fresh raw fish as soon as it comes off the back of the truck. And they're saying that you should never give your cat raw fish, correct?
Yeah, it's Garfield. Remember Garfield? I think it was Garfield. He would like put the fish in his mouth and he would eat it and he would pull it out and it was
Yeah,
just like an intact skeleton.
Yeah.
It's like an intact skeleton he would pull out of his mouth.
Also, cats have 4 different types of hair. They have dawn or down, they have on, they have guard, and vibrace hairs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and you're bringing me back. See, okay, let me. My kids bring back homework, especially my oldest. He brings back homework, and I have to help him.
Mhm.
And it's like it's stuff that you never use in the real world. It's like a trapezoid or like long division. It's like you don't use this stuff in the real world. And you're talking about stuff that we learned in vet school that
Nice.
there's literally no application for in the real world at all. But I like the fact that you're doing it because it's bringing back all these memories of being in school and learning this stuff and thinking, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. I've never heard this before. Like this is just mind blowing. And then 6 months later, you don't even remember what it was.
Yeah. No, I mean, why would you have to know the 4 different types of hair on a cat? I didn't know this too. The rag doll is the most common popular cat breed.
I believe that.
I've never even heard of a rag doll. What is that?
Oh, really?
No, I've
Oh, they're
never.
they're the kind that have kind of the brown tips everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they're beautiful. They usually have light colored eyes.
That is pretty wild. Also, and I'm just kind of going as we read here because there's like 8,000 little cat things here. But according to the Guinness Book of World Records, you know what the oldest cat ever was? And you froze up, so this is going to be an even better answer. Wait on you. We're waiting on you. I hope I didn't lose you. Hold on, I can't hear you. There you go. I can see
All
you.
right, I can hear you. All right, I'm
Yeah.
back. 32. 32 years old.
Let's go 38.
What?
Yeah. 1967. The cat was 3 days into its 38th birthday when it died in 2005.
Wow.
Jake Perry also owned the previous oldest cat, passed away at the ripe old age of 34.
What country? What country is the oldest living cat from?
I'm going to say the oldest living cat. Xavier, what do you think the oldest living cat? What country is the oldest living cat from?
What?
Oldest living cat. Give me a country.
Let's see.
Canada? Mexico?
Probably Mexico at best.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Xavier's going to say Mexico.
Okay.
I don't know for certain.
He doesn't know for certain.
I don't know for sure either. I don't know for sure either. I'm man, I don't think this is a stereotype. I really don't. But I feel like that there are Asian
Yeah, you're cutting out again.
countries where people live to be like 110 years.
Yeah, I lost
You got me?
Yeah, now I got you.
Okay.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna
make-
say it was. I'm gonna say it's an Asian country.
Yeah, it probably is. Because I know. Well, Asians. I mean, they live typically like almost 10 years longer than we do.
Well, that's what I said when I cut out.
Yeah. And you're cutting out big time. Hey, listen. I'm gonna you just hush. I'm gonna let you go. We got a good 20
I
minutes.
hope
and that's
this
good.
isn't a stereotype, but I
Yep. All right. Dr. Rab Stewart, Rossbridge Animal Hospital. Go to rossbridgevet.com. Also 208-0301, 208-0301. I'm cutting you off, my man. We got enough cat information. See what happens? See, we even try to dedicate a damn show to the cats and they screw us up. Cats, like we're trying to do something nice for the kitty cats, talk about cats 30 minutes and we get halfway through it and you're it's like a cat's running the internet today. Brought to you by Sasquatch Toys and Comics. Sasquatch Toys and Comics, they do wonderful work down there. Anything you want in the box, anything, cards, they do a really great job at unbelievable comics. And of course, Seth goes all over the world finding all kinds of different toys, everything from Legos to Star Wars and everything else. They do fantastic work. Call Sasquatch Toys and Comics or check them out online. They do fantastic work. Dr. Reb, thank you so much, and I will catch you next week, hopefully mobile in your office, and we can have a nice, clean show. Love you, brother.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio.